This podcast is sponsored by RSA Rock and Metal Fans Facebook page.
How's it?
Yo,
How's it? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
How
nice
are
and
you,
clear,
man?
Alrighty, sweet.
How are you, man?
Fuck me, man. I've been waiting for this conversation for so long, bro.
We should have done this way earlier.
I know. Fuck COVID, right?
But fuck over, dude. I'm so over this shit. Jesus. It's crazy.
Fuck. Okay, well, we're recording now anyway, so fuck it. What an entrance.
What an entrance. How are you, man? How's the weather?
Fucking cold and wintry in the Cape.
It's miserable there.
Yeah, that's fucking.
But sometimes,
You know, what the fuck, man?
sorry, interrupted you.
No, it's
Sometimes
cool.
we need that, man. The other day it was like 35 here and we were dying.
Yeah, but I mean, yesterday we had, I think it was supposed to be 32, but I think we ended up having, I think it was 28 or something like that. You know, fuck the weather. The weather can't even get it right. I think it's run by the ANC.
Definitely. Definitely. And the thing is, we don't even have springtime anymore. It's just winter, boom, summer. You know?
Yeah, I know, it's fucked up, man. Okay.
Nevertheless, we're alive.
Yeah, well, there we go. Yeah. So let's dive. Let me dive straight in. I want to know where the fuck someone gets the surname Cobra.
Dude, thing is, you can't give yourself a nickname. So one of the first band members of the original lineup gave you that nickname. I cannot say that online. Why? Live.
Can you imagine if you were actually born Don Cobra?
I wanted to change it, but my dad will kill me. So,
Oh man, you know,
yeah.
I had visions of you waking up this morning with about 3,000-4,000 hot chicks all around you in silk satin sheets and bottles of champagne strewed everywhere, and like just get up, get on your bike and fuck off down the road at 1,000,000 miles an hour, having fucking cop cars chasing you and living the fucking rock and roll lifestyle. But it's anything but, right?
Sounds like Sons of Anarchy. I love it. Well, that happened this morning. I woke up next to a very hot girl.
Oh, there you go.
But not 4,000.
So, I mean, one of the questions that I was listening to Shotgun Slinger yesterday, and I was like, is there such a thing as a rock and roll life anymore?
I don't think in South Africa, actually. But I think abroad it can still happen.
You reckon?
I reckon I've got some mates in Sweden that's living the life, you know. and the government is looking after them so they can do what they love, you know.
Oh, you see now. The things to have is a good government behind you.
Excellent. Yeah. The thing is, those guys are just touring there freaking everywhere, and well, they're so close to Europe, so they can actually afford to just hop over the ocean and freaking.
Well, this is one of the many things that South Africa faces. One of the troubles is having a good central point to tour, because we're pretty fucking far down, and we're fucked.
Definitely, man. Definitely. It's like, and especially now with the freaking borders that are closed, I wonder what the new flight prices are going to be like when they eventually open.
I mean, hasn't SAA, South African Airways, just been bailed out again?
Yeah, that's true.
So you can imagine what they have to charge to recoup those costs. But I guess it's like everything in South Africa. You don't pay it back. You just take and don't pay it back.
Yeah, well, those guys are driving freaking huge, big cars and living in the fancy houses, and they still get freaking their monthly salary.
Yeah, I'd kill for a monthly salary, to be honest. I guess everybody would. Fucking hell.
Yeah,
Let's talk about the origins of L.A. Cobra, man, because I would say about the last year and a half sort of became aware of L.A. Cobra, and that's because your social media was going fucking mental with stuff and posting it, and you're a serial Facebooker and social media person.
Yes, so I've got to keep busy and active, you know, because we got lots of fans and friends abroad that are interested in us, so gotta keep it alive, especially in these days that not much is happening, so you must actually run your social media freaking all the time just to have people like supporting and streaming your stuff, you know, try and make the sense from Spotify, the 0.04 cents.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, no, that's fucking pitiful. I do distribution for, as a side thing for artists, and the first thing I say to them is two things. Is one, I tell you exactly who I use, and that's DistroKid. And number two, you can do the shit yourself. And number 3 is what you're going to get paid out. Don't go out and buy that new fucking car yet.
No, you can buy a mini version of it, maybe
You can't even
a
afford
model.
that, man.
Put it on your shelf. Yeah, you can download a high-res picture with that money.
No, the ink is too expensive, man. The ink to print it out.
Yes.
No, it's not going to fucking work.
It's ridiculous, man. But it's the new freaking way of music getting distributed, and that saddens me.
You know, I've been speaking to a couple of bands, and one of the guys I was speaking to was Kevin Rule, and we released his solo album out a couple of months back, and I said to him, don't expect. I basically gave him a freebie and said to him, look, I've got an extra slot to release some music. Do you want to do it through me? Get it out to as many people as possible. Then we'll reassess it come 2021. And we've already had the discussion that 2021 he's gonna just fucking stick with Bandcamp, because that's actually where you make your money.
Yeah, that's true. I'm also thinking of moving. We're also a District Kid. District Kid is good, but Bandcamp is just more out there, especially in Europe.
Well, I think
it's more of a local thing, an American thing.
Yeah, look, you see, I'm kind of torn between the two, because in my previous position, I had a previous distribution thing that I used District, and it was doing very, very well, and
you can buy a KFC rounder every 3 to 4 months.
Okay, no, yeah, you know what? In the context of something that I've seen, yeah, I'll take $30 any day over the fucking 0.00 fucking 4 whatever the hell that Spotify pays out and the rest pay out. Who pays out more, by the way? Do you know?
iTunes. We had some cool cash coming in from iTunes and Amazon, actually. iTunes, Apple Music, and Amazon is our big top 3. Well, the highest paying distributors or online streaming from my side that I've noticed.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I guess I'll reassess again come 2021 and have a look at the figures and see if it's still worth my while to be involved in the shit. But Bandcamp it's where people got to actually pay the artist, not some platform. But then again, you got to have a good PR behind you to pump your music out to the world, because that's the only snag. You don't get everywhere. So
yeah, and the trick is to try and get on as many playlists as possible.
And you know what? That's a fucking horrible task. I've tried that before.
I know that freaking. We were lucky we were added on a German playlist last year before our tour, and that had really actually helped a lot.
But this is what I find amazing about Europe is, it is marginally closer to going, I guess, straight to London, and you can just go to Germany or whatever. But the German fans are pretty hectic.
Hardcore, and they're very loyal, and like they want to support. Like I had stickers there, like at our merch stand, and I had them for €1 just to make some cash. And if someone would buy a shirt or a CD, I'd give them a sticker for free.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, no, I'll pay the €1.
Wow.
Like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, these guys are probably earning, a salary. So what is €1? €1 is nothing to them.
Exactly. And if you look at their cost of living and you look at the merch prices, for example, a shirt would be like €13, and it's basically 2 beers for them, which is nothing.
Yeah.
So they buy a shirt and a CD, and because I value everything in beer, so yeah, that's the thing. But in South Africa, if someone's got to buy a shirt, it's like 13 beers.
Yeah, no, this is true. Well, you know what? I've seen some shirts going for 200 plus, and that's a case of fucking beer. That's 24 fucking beers.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking crazy.
Our shirts are our colored or full color shirts are going for $250, and but it's a good quality shirt, so people buy it. You can't also have a shitty shirt and expect 250 rand for it.
Absolutely correct. Yeah, no, absolutely. So anyway, we digress a lot, but I want to find out about how LA Cobra actually, when it began. I know it was 2005 thereabouts. So give me the history, man.
So I don't know if you remember the band Juggernaut.
Yeah, it does ring a bell. Yeah.
was Herman. L.A. Cobra was him and one of the original members' brainchild. And Herman never joined the band. He joined later on actually. And so they were looking for a vocalist, and I was in another band at the time. And the original lineup of L.A. Cobra was actually called the Terrorists, and I was in a band called.
Can you imagine trying to organize a flight? Yeah, the terrorists would like to fly to fucking London. Okay.
Oh no, that's and we actually got stuck because the one guy, when we were at LA Cobra, had like the terrorist played on his guitar case, and the guys at the airport were like, you gotta double check if there's a gun in there.
Touring no-nos. Don't spray paint terrorist on your guitar case, whatever you fucking do.
Yeah, that's rule number 1. But so then I joined them, and then we became LA Cobra in 2005. It's actually on the 1st of November. We'll be 15 years old this year.
Wow.
And it's quite a fucking twice as long as I've been in high school. 3 times. So, yeah, that's actually a scary thought that just ran through my mind.
Wow.
Yeah, then we were signed by Ashton Knight for our first album. That was released in 2007.
Right.
But right after that, we had some lineup changes. Our lead guitarist was studying, so he decided to focus on his studies. The bassist left, and we regrouped. I don't know if you remember a band called Shadow Lord way back. And we got John Strong on guitar, and he was in the band for a couple of years. And then Herman from Juggernaut joined as well. When John left to pursue his own side project. And then eventually in 2012, I got the lineup that we're now in actually. And it's been a solid lineup. Everyone is brothers. We're getting along. We write good music together. We actually get along when you go on tour. You know, there's no issues and shit. That's what I love.
I read the EPK that you sent me in the press release was glam metal, hair metal, rock and sleaze, and I was like, this is like me growing up in the 80s. This is fucking brilliant. And then
Motley Crue.
Yeah, Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses, L.A. Guns. I love that.
Yes.
L.A. Guns. What is it called? Cocked and Loaded. That album.
Cocked and Loaded, and a Rat. Infestation.
Oh, damn it! Rat were sleazy motherfuckers. They
were crazy. Have you watched The Dirt of Motley Crue?
Oh, God.
The movie.
Yeah. I just picture you in every scene, man. It's fucking hilarious. Why didn't they hire you to play Vince fucking Neil, man?
Dude, we were actually trying. No jokes. I've got a friend I don't know if you remember the band called Rabbit from South Africa way back.
Yeah.
So I was in Duncan's band, and he's actually living in Vegas, and Vince is living in Vegas, and his wife was trying to get hold of Vince's management so that I can at least audition.
Oh, but, can you just imagine, man?
That was a time when he was in jail. He was like, so I think it was 2013 when I started with the auditions.
Right.
Actually. And so then we tried, and it never happened. But
oh God, that would have been fucking incredible, because I mean, you are Mr. fucking Vince Neil when he was younger.
Yeah, not Vince. Well, after the lockdown, I'm starting to look like the older version of
Fuck, man, aren't we all? Jeez, I tell you. I go into lockdown like I'm fucking a spring chicken. I come out like a pork chop. No ways, yes.
Pineapple, ons drink pineapple.
It's amazing what you can come up with in the house when there's prohibition, eh? Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy. Man.
Scary. So what are your influences, man? Okay, we know Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses, but you know, as a band as a whole, you know, what are the influences?
Like I'd say in the early days, it was like Motley Crue was all of those 80s bands, but then we stumbled across a band from Sweden called Crash Diet. I don't know if you heard about them. No. And they were like the first modern sleaze band that was signed to a big label in 2002, I think.
Okay.
And then they opened up the scene again, you know. And then we came across all these bands called, I don't know if you know, Hardcore Superstar. Mm-hmm. Actually, the original guitarist of Crash Diet is Tobias Forge of Ghost.
Oh,
It's
okay.
his first band, and then they freaking broke up, and then the singer started Crash Diet again with the current lineup, except the singer passed away 2006, and so they had like a couple of singers until now. I think 4 of them. But they like really open up the path for us, and they're like a big inspiration because they bring a whole modern, how can I say, twist on the 80s sleaze era, which is. I'll send you some links. You must go and listen to them. They're freaking
definitely.
awesome.
Sure.
And Hardcore Superstar. We were actually lucky to open for Crash Diet last year in Germany, and we would have opened for them again this year in Belgium. But yeah, it's like all these modern sleaze bands are now, or the scene moved to Sweden, and it's not in LA anymore. Actually, quite refreshing. The Swedes are very talented.
Yeah, not only that, I think Europe is, I almost said the sleaze capital of the world.
Definitely, dude. Definitely.
But yeah, I mean in a good way, not in a shitty way, because I think the music scene in Europe is far bigger than the one in America. America is so fucking cordoned off from the rest of the world. It's crazy.
That's very true. But I'd say the European and the Scandinavian fans like took over the whole sleaze image and freaking modernized it, with the teased hair and cowboy boots and leather jackets. So if you go there nowadays.
Sorry, I was just going to say that it's a great segue because you guys have done a shitload of touring in Europe, and like you said, opening up for bands over there, and Judas Priest were going to come here, but fuck, why didn't
unfortunately,
that happen?
Yes, dude, that was very disappointing for us because besides that they cancelled because we were going to open for them.
Yeah, along with Deadline.
We were actually yes, us and Deadline. We were actually booked that week to play our Swedish leg of our tour. Oh. And when we got the phone call, it was like, okay, cool, now we got to make a choice because our flights for Europe was already booked and for Sweden.
Man, no way.
And, then we had to change our flights. It was like, I don't want to lie, almost 15,000 Rand just to change the flight. Yeah, and then Priest never happened, so it was like a double loss.
Gee. Well, let's hope they come back in 2021, 2022, I guess, maybe.
That would be freaking awesome.
That really would have propelled you guys. Gee.
And actually, Hardcore Superstar, they opened for Priest in Sweden.
Oh, come on!
They were on the same tour. Yeah. It's crazy.
Man. Oh man. So, Don, tell me, you're not just a guitarist, a front man, but you're a guitarist as well.
Yes. Slade and I are both on the. Well, Slade is doing the bigger part of the lead guitar duties. I'm just doing a little solo here and there, and basically rhythm.
Nice, because that's for a sleaze band, or sleaze. I can't say sleaze. Okay, for a good rockin' band, it's kind of different for glam metal, hair metal, rockin' sleaze or whatever you want to call it. Because usually the front man's got to be bouncing around and fucking getting everybody hyped up. I mean, you do that anyway because I've seen some of the videos. I mean, you guys are fucking mad.
Yeah, the thing for me is like when there's only one guitar, as soon as there's a solo, it's just empty. It's the bass and the guitar solo and the drums, and you just get a fuller sound with a rhythm guitar like backing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, you got to fill in the space. I mean, how did you become a guitarist then?
I was actually a guitarist before I was a singer.
Oh no, hang on. You were a guitarist for quite a popular band, weren't you? I'm trying to think of the name now.
I was Duncan Forer's lead guitarist from Rabbit on his last tour.
That's it. Sorry, yeah.
2017, yeah.
Damn, dude.
So that was I was doing the Trevor Rabin stuff. It was big shoes to fill, man. It was so scary. I hope he doesn't fucking hate me.
So how did you get into guitars then?
Yes, dude. I just started. I was listening to Am I Evil of Metallica when I was 9 years old, and I was like, that's what I want to do.
Wow, fucking hell.
And that got me into the whole heavy metal scene, and always like aspiring to. Actually, I think it actually saved my life as well.
Really?
Because high school friends of mine went into drugs and that whole direction, and I just wanted to freaking rock, And it's like I had that fascination. and sorry to say, but I'm the only one alive now of that friend group.
Wow.
And so it's I think it was my calling. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have been talking to you now if it wasn't for that.
Do you actually live a rock and roll lifestyle?
I do, but I prefer whiskey and lots of it.
There you go.
So that's my drug of choice. A good
Okay, no, it's a good choice. There's nothing wrong with that, man. I'm a whiskey man myself. So I'm going to give you a quick fire. Let's see. Okay, you got like a second to respond. Motley Crue or Guns N' Roses?
Motley.
Whoa. Jack Daniels or beer?
Jack.
Pretoria or Cape Town?
Fucking Cape Town.
Hey, man, we'll welcome you anytime, man. Blonde or brunette?
I'm going down in December. We must maybe hook up for a beer. I'll let you know where.
Man. Yeah,
awesome. We're gonna be,
Absolutely.
If we don't go into another lockdown and
you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if we do.
I've heard rumors, so I don't want to. I don't want to curse us.
Get to the bottle store and fucking stock up now.
Yeah, go to the freaking fruit and veg and stock up on pineapples. It's crazy. Sorry.
Yeah,
it's so funny, man. All the pineapple beer that happening.
No. Okay, so blonde or brunette?
Brunette.
Bra or tatas free?
Tatas free.
And I think I know the answer to the next one. South Africa or LA?
LA, dude. I love LA.
Of course, you gotta. Oh, if I was quick on the draw, I would have said Sweden. But anyway, South Africa or Sweden?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Stockholm.
Stockholm, yeah.
I was there in 2016. I went to Crash Side show, and that's when I met all the guys. I was staying with the bassist. And when you arrive at the airport, you just feel welcome. It's like there's no shit.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's really awesome, man.
I mean,
when you're going to
there's something that we're lacking in this country. I don't know what it is. I think it's because the people are so divided.
Definitely, but also like just your general restaurants and pubs and stuff. They will play all the, how can I say, Bad Moon Rising, Creedence. I've got nothing against that, but you're going to a pub in Sweden, you'll hear Iron Maiden, Manowar, Metallica, freaking like the good old stuff that we grew up with.
Yeah, I lived in Europe for a while, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
What's scary, like, I don't know if you've been to the Hard Rock Cafe here in Pretoria.
No, I haven't been to Pretoria. No.
And they play, hip-hop and freaking rap and R&B like Destiny's Child and all of that stuff when you go in there.
Name,
exactly, and
Hard Pop
we went
Cafe.
there a couple of times. Hard Pop Cafe, Hard R&B.
Hard Cock Cafe, yeah.
Hard Cock, yeah, exactly. And it's actually scary. And then I was in Hard Rock Cafe in Mumbai, of all places. Dude, they play Rat inside. Freaking Europe.
Nice. You see now.
It's crazy. Guns N' Roses, Metallica, and like it's in Mumbai, you won't expect it.
Yeah.
And that really opened up my eyes how big it is in those countries as well. Because people think India, is there a metal scene? Yes, there is a metal scene. We just don't know about it.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about this country has something that is, like I said, I think it's because the people are so divided and our mind has been taken off living life and rather about the fucking shenanigans that the government gets up to and everything fucking else. But I'm not going to go into a fucking tirade about the government. Fuck the government, whatever.
Yeah, we'll have another podcast about that. I just want to be under a hidden name.
Yeah, we'll call it the political podcast. Yeah, the PP.
PP. But the scary thing about the government, I'm not going to get into this, is how they screw musos over with the royalties. I don't know if you know about that. The whole SABC TV licensing thing. But they want to charge. I don't know if you've seen the social media last week.
I've seen the explosions.
They want to charge that, but they've got so much debt to musos and royalties, and that's in all genres, not only in rock and metal, of course. So, and that is scary, man. They don't look after their artists and culture in general.
I think there's a worldwide problem with that, because particularly with something like the COVID and the pandemic, I guess people in charge, arseholes in charge, are more interested in their pockets and their friends' pockets and keeping other industries alive, and just look at the arts as like, it's not. They don't take it seriously. I'd actually love to know the figures. How much arts and entertainment actually brings in, money-wise.
Dude, I think in general a lot of money. Like, it's a way of life for a lot of people. They need music to function. And if I can give you an example, I played in Italy in 2017, just an acoustic show in Milan, and I did a cover of what did I do? Bon Jovi and Poison. And after my gig, they came with a sheet and like, okay, cool, you did this. I must sign it there, like, because it's a live performance royalty that band is getting just from my acoustic performance. So the club owners are paying their SAMRO, I don't know what it's called in Europe. Like a monthly fee of bands doing covers and their playlists that they're DJing. So, which I can't see happening here. I've never had a club owner walk up to me and saying, "Oh, cool, you guys played this set list. I'm signed here. They're gonna submit it to SAMRO for a live."
Can you imagine, man? Fucking hell.
So those guys are just disciplined and they look after
the musicians, the arts, yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the two albums that I have, which is How Much Snake Can You Take?
Your Slunk Can You Funk?
And Shotgun Slinger. So How Much Snake Can You Take was 2010. So what was the first album?
The first album was Cherry Hill, the one that we signed with Ashton.
Right.
But I don't want to get into this online, but there was some issues regarding copyrights and stuff, so we pulled it basically.
Right. Is that why I couldn't find it anywhere? Right. Okay.
Yeah. I want to freaking avoid. How can I say, any legal
ramifications?
So
Okay.
So
basically, we're going to say fuck them.
Fuck them. Yeah.
Okay.
The thing is, we're doing one of our ballad from the first album. We're actually doing a re-recording of it on our new album.
Do you guys own the rights to the content of the album?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so you're able to do that then at least.
But the shit was the copyright stuff was between band members and not the record label.
Right.
So I just want to put that out there as well. That's between members of LA or the first line of LA Cobra and.
You see, I have a problem with this now. You know, I can understand people like, well, you know, that was my song and I wrote this, that, and the other. But you know, the name is LA Cobra, not fucking Joe Blow.
That was not entirely the issue, but
right. Okay, no, I understand.
Yeah. The one guy rocked up with guitar riffs.
I swear, I want an answer.
I'm just gonna put this. I'm not gonna name any names. Like the one guy rocked up with, because I was like 20. I didn't know all of these weird sleaze bands that was like undiscovered or not undiscovered, but it wasn't so big here at the time.
Right.
And they took some riffs and stuff from other bands, and and I was like. And I didn't know it, you know. And then only years later, my cousin he was actually living in the UK, and he heard one of the original band's riffs, and he's like, "That's LA Cobra," and I'm like, "That's really weird." And so that's why we pulled it.
Yeah.
So,
right.
And then we had a bit of an argument and shit because of that, and I just decided I don't want to. I just want to pull that album. It's actually a cock album.
That belongs down at the Hard Cock Cafe.
Hard Cock Cafe, exactly.
Okay, no, cool. Well, we won't get into that because we don't want anybody to come knocking on our doors, so that's fine. We'll just say fuck it, whatever. So, How Much Snake Can You Take? A 2010 album. So, is that like a rebirth of LA Cobra?
Basically, yeah. That's the first album I was 100% involved in from the beginning to the end. Nice. I was myself and our drummer. Wrote a lot of the songs, and then we would just write songs in the band room together. And I was actually actively involved throughout the whole process. We actually opened up a record label at the time to get it out in the shops and stuff. And it was a really cool album. You guys went the
physical route.
Yeah. That was 2010, so you still had to go that route, you know, to get your CD out. Right. Just before iTunes and everything exploded, you know.
Yeah.
And back then it was also very expensive to get your stuff on iTunes. There was no DistroKid and stuff like that. You actually had to have an agent to submit the stuff for you, and then they had to approve it.
See, this is
So-
what I'm leaning more towards a company like 1RPM, who they don't charge you monthly or yearly fees, and you can distribute whatever. You can distribute. There's no upfront costs, and they take 15% of whatever you earn.
Oh, okay, that's really not bad.
That is, I mean, that's really. I mean, you're still going to earn shitty fucking money. So if they want to
Yeah.
take, a half of fucking 0.004 cents or whatever, then by all means, fucking take it. But still, they still distribute to all the relevant platforms. So that's not too bad in my eyes, at least.
I'll definitely have to check it out. The thing is, we're very lucky. Our fan base is a bit older, so the guys want to have a physical album in their hand.
But not only
And-
that, you've got something like
and
8,000
see.
followers on LA Cobra, haven't you, or something crazy like that?
Yes. I think it's 8,600 if I remember correctly now.
Fucking
But
hell.
a lot of our fans, especially in Europe and in the USA, they freaking buy CDs and merchandise like crazy. I
You
actually
see,
had
now,
some shit now with the
You see, if
with the
I
lockdown
if
because
I
of
had
the.
sorry man, if I had a paying job, I would be buying CDs left, right, and fucking center because I love buying. Not so much a merch because I'm a fat fuck, so nothing really fits me. But I like buying fucking CDs, physical copies. There's something about old school about opening up a CD and fucking paging through the pages and looking at the lyrics and the pictures and all the thanks to and things like that.
Yes, and there's like weird messages in there. Like, wonder what they were thinking.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder what they were shooting to fucking get in that. Yeah.
Because I remember looking at the Eddie Van Halen the Best of album CD back then, and then you open it up. There's just, I think it was like a ton of wires lying on the ground in the studio. And I looked at that for hours. I'm like, I wonder what the fuck are they miking up? So it was, that's the sad thing about digital, but obviously you get fans that believe in that. But like you get, especially for LA Cobra, like if you have the fans in the USA, because they like to show off. Look what I discovered! A weird sleaze band from South Africa, and for them over there, because they only used to like the big bands, and if they discover a band that's not, because South Africa is not a sleaze rock country, it's quite freaking special to them. It's like this, like a little souvenir.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah,
We
look,
get some dollars.
I don't know about you, but every now and then, if I got a bit of cash, I like to go down to the old LP stores and go and page through page through, finger through all the LPs and go, ooh, geez, I remember that from my youth. I'll go and grab that and spend 300 Rand on a fucking album. Crazy.
No, I'm the same. Actually, one of my rare LPs is the 1977 original print of Star Wars.
Bloody
That
what?
one.
Really?
That was like, fuck, that's my masterpiece of mine. I love that. It's like,
How much you
and
paid
the
for it?
Ghostbusters as well. I got it for free from Duncan.
Oh,
When he left
geez.
to America, he gave me like a bunch of vinyls. And also the wall, American print, first print, he gave that to me. I was like, so those are my pride possessions. We actually released a 7-inch single of Shotgun Slinger and Live to Ride, also a song from our first album, an acoustic version of it. And that actually went very well. We made that especially for our European tour.
I was just going to say, is
Little
this something
vinyl.
that you took overseas with you? Because they would lap that shit up there big time. And will you do it again? Would you look at Shotgun Slinger and say, let's release it on full album, or is it just way too expensive?
It's very expensive to put it on vinyl. We actually used a company in the UK, and it was quite expensive. It was like, I don't know, I think it was 24,000 Rand for 250 singles. So it's an expensive freaking item to have on your merch. So unless a record label or someone is funding half of it or something.
24,000
I would
Rand
Yeah,
for how many 200 singles?
250 singles.
And how much do you sell them for
But
each?
150.
Good
Actually
Lord.
running at a loss because
Yeah.
it's just like one of those things. You can't charge $250 for a single.
Well, I guess you'd hope for it to sort of come back to you at some point, like more fans and shows and people buying tickets to shows. I guess that's the whole point of it. I mean, this is not the kind of business you get into to make money.
Yeah, no, this is purely for love, and if we can break even, that's a bonus. And like for our tours and stuff, we'd like. Unfortunately, we're not big enough for the European market to fund the whole tour. So we got to pay up front and then hopefully recoup the costs.
Have you?
Our fans are very yes. We were fucked over last year.
Oh, go on. This sounds like an interesting segue. Go on, then tell us all about that one, if you can.
So we got this manager. And we actually spoke to him for more than a year on Messenger and video once a week, twice a week, and we formed a good relationship with him. It was a bit weird, but like all tour managers are, And eventually, when the travel costs came for the European tour, because he came from the UK and he met us in Belgium, in Brussels, and when those costs came up and we looked at renting our own van. That was very expensive, and eventually we agreed, us and the band from USA, Wild Street, and the guys from Sweden, Striker 9. We're going to share a bus, and we're going to pay him £500 per band for the 2 weeks. And he rocked up with a bus, fucking old bus, dude, looked like a taxi from the flats, and he built like this whole pallet thing on the roof. Where like 17 guys with guitars and luggage and everything went in. And that thing eventually broke on the way to Germany. And the guys had to help this thing up for like 8 hours.
Oh no,
for the whole thing not to collapse. To make the story short, eventually we had to go back to the UK for our UK leg of the tour. And he told us we need to... we can only apply for a working visa if we make £1,000 per night. And we made way less. Yeah. And I went through on my tourist visa, and the lady said, enjoy your time. And then eventually the guys, I wasn't there in the border control room at the time, but I know the guys from the USA had a problem to go through, because they can go into the UK to visit with their passports, but as soon as they pick up an instrument, they need to have a working visa. I'm not 100% sure. Geez. And then they called us all back, and eventually we found out this guy, his company wasn't legit. So he said that because he had to issue us working visas, and if he, through his company, but then it had to be registered and he has to pay tax.
Oh, so, fucking dodgy fucker.
So, we got detained in France, which was quite cool.
Oh, that's the rock and roll lifestyle right there, eh?
It was fucking crazy cold, and then the guy just dropped us off in the middle of the night and he left. Boom. Never saw him again.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah.
So what the hell did you guys do then?
We hooked up. There's a South African guy in Breda, in Netherlands, Sean. He works with Marshall Music as well. He, through social media, he contacted me and says, okay, cool, come over. He's going to book us a gig at a little pub called this Cafe de Speeltuin in Breda, and we stayed at his house. Then we met some other guys, the guys who are actually organizing our tour next year, Yancy and Nick from Mr. Mist. And they were so welcoming, let us into the house. And organized another gig and transported us. And, they were just...
Wow, you see, that's cool.
Guys, So that actually opened new doors for us,
You see, you got to go through the shit to come out smelling like fucking roses, man.
Exactly.
Nice one.
Dude, that guy was fucking... at the German gig, he left with a bus at about 10 o'clock, and we paid for the bus. And we still wanted to party a bit and check the other headlining bands.
Yeah.
And he says, okay, cool, we must grab a Uber back to the hotel.
What?
And then meet him there the next day. And the Uber was like €80 per car. And we needed 2 cars. That's €160 there and €160 back. And we called him and said, listen, dude, we paid so much money for the bus. we're not gonna pay freaking 320 euro
Yeah.
just to travel 16 kilometers.
Yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous. And yeah, so then he just left us, and we had to sleep at the club in the winter time until he rocks up the next morning.
Fuck that, man. Is he still in the business, or is he like?
Dude, he's named and shamed. He
Good.
was reported, so I don't think he'll work in the music industry again.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Fuck that guy. If you listen to this podcast,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Fuck you. Yeah, man, he's a dodgy fucking liar. That's
Fuck
all I can
bastards.
say.
So Shotgun Slinger comes out in 2017, and
Yes,
this is almost like the pinnacle of LA Cobra's sound.
Yes, that's our best album. We had it mixed and mastered by Martin Sweet from Crash Diet.
Right. Okay. So that's the relationship you formed with when you were over in Europe.
Yes,
Nice.
in Sweden.
Yeah.
And so he's also going to work on a new album, but I really think for that production, it also, because you can get a cheap production, which is good, but a better production is always better.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Attracts more stuff. And he put his magic on there along with our magic, and it just worked. But only positive responses on that album.
So I mean that was 2017. So 2018, you guys were touring. Or was it 2019 you were touring?
Yes, 2018 and 2019 we were touring that album.
Okay, great.
And we actually started writing last year already on the new album, but
I
we
was
just
going to
delayed.
ask you what's new that's been written. Is there a full album that's been written?
The full album, we actually did some bass yesterday, so our bassist should be finished with his stuff in about 2 weeks, and then I'm going to start with my rhythm tracks and vocals.
Nice.
And hopefully it should be out in March next year.
2021. Okay, cool. Well,
Yes.
all the description will be in all the links will be in the description below, so everybody can just follow the social media pages and be kept up to speed with what's going on and everything like that. And so let's touch on the SAMA nominations.
There's some African metal music nominations.
Yeah, I mean, was it?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I was just going to say, was it weird being nominated?
It was. It's actually weird because we're not. We're a Sleaze metal band, so I think we're a lot softer than the metal bands, but we're also a bit harder for the rock band. So we're like stuck in between the middle, you know.
Well, that's okay. Stuck in the middle. It's not a bad place to be.
Which is cool for us because we're one of the only metal bands in the country that gets radio play on big radio stations and also airplay on TV channels.
Yeah.
But yeah,
because you guys
are
have been involved in commercials and all that sort of stuff as well.
Yes, we did a commercial for a company called Polycell in the UK in 2007, I think. Yeah, which is quite awesome to be asked for. Or to do something like that, you know.
So let's just get back into the new music that's going to come out in March, thereabouts, 2021. How many tracks are you guys going to have?
We've got 14 at the moment.
Wow.
But
jeez, you don't fuck around, man.
No, it's fucking awesome, 14 awesome, huge tracks. It's going to be difficult because we're going to release 11 on the new album, and then the other 3 will go on the next album. So just to choose which ones are actually 15. Well, yeah, 15 tracks.
Why not just why are you keeping some aside? Do you have a set amount that you can only use?
I think it's just the band just decided 11, 12 tracks is long enough for an album. I don't think I want to put too much on. Then you might bore the people, you know.
You can never bore people with sleaze metal. Come on. If I can release a double album, let's go GNR on everybody.
Oh, that would be awesome. I actually would love that. No one doing that at the moment in the last couple of years, actually.
Yeah, you know why? It's because it's too fucking expensive, that's why.
Yeah, it's crazy, yeah. And imagine freaking, I don't think there'll be a lot of admin on that, but I think postage and stuff would be more expensive and stuff.
Well, that's one of the things that I was speaking to a band out of New York, James Ryder from Ryder, and I said, just off air, I said to him, it'll be great to actually get one of those albums, and he just said that the prices that you pay for postage alone will be double the cost of the album itself.
Yeah, that's very true. That's why I'm thinking about the double album is going to be like freaking $320 at least to post.
Is that why there's such an interest in digital releases?
Definitely, definitely. I'm actually thinking about opening a shop in Ireland with my cousin and distribute from there. It's a lot cheaper,
Wow.
and your stuff actually reaches the destination.
I mean, that does make sense. You know, have a contact in Europe where people can get their shit from.
Because the thing is, when I went to visit him in 2017, I posted some albums just before we left in the beginning of December to the USA. It was about 5 albums, and then I got a last minute order, and I was like, okay, cool, it's now Christmas Day. I'm not gonna freaking post the stuff now.
Yeah.
So I took them west to Ireland, and that week between Christmas and New Year's, everything was open. So I went to the post office and I sent 3 albums to the USA. And they arrived a week after I posted them.
Wow.
When I got back to South Africa, the ones I sent from here in December wasn't even, I think they only arrived in February.
Yeah. I mean, COVID has played a part in having people think outside the box.
No, definitely. Like, we lost a lot of sales. People didn't want to wait for the stuff. And some people ordered in March, and I actually only posted it 2 days ago.
Wow.
Because the post office informed me that they're only sending out stuff that arrived in South Africa from April and May at the moment. Jeez. So can you imagine the backlog from, it's just crazy.
Yeah. So what are your COVID survival tips then?
Whiskey. Lots of whiskey.
That kills the bacteria.
And lots of garlic, so no one will come close to you.
You sound like my kind of guy, man. Fucking whiskey and garlic.
Whiskey and garlic.
Yeah. You should make a garlic
whiskey. Way. Yeah, dude. No joke. There's a place in Sweden. You must actually go Google it. And there's one in London as well. It's called Garlic and Shots.
Garlic and Shots.
They make
Damn.
Yeah, they make garlic beer. Everything has got garlic, and they've got garlic.
Oh, that sounds like my kind of place, man.
It's amazing, dude. It's freaking really. And you think garlic beer, that's horrible, but actually the way they brewed it.
Well, that's exactly it, isn't it? It's chemistry. It's fucking beautiful. I like that. I like the thought of that a lot. Okay, so you've got the hair of Sebastian Bach. You've got the looks of Vince Neil, a younger Vince Neil. I just need to put that in there. And the swagger of fucking Axl Rose, bro.
Fuck, dude, that's a huge compliment, because those 3 are my biggest heroes, influence.
Imagine being able to record with your heroes.
Seriously, that would be freaking insane.
I digress anyways. I mean, fuck, I was going to say about the hair. Is that the natural color?
No, I bleached it. I'm a bit older now, so I got to bleach it.
Is there an image to maintain, though, in L.A. Cobra and the whole glam metal thing?
Well, we just want to have the whole band to have long hair and the tees, for the shows. But we're trying for the bit of a hard rock, sleazier wasp kind of image nowadays that we're older instead of the spandex.
Right. You're not going to do a Steel Panther on us?
Not, when I was 21, yes, but now I'm a bit too old.
Steel Panther make me fucking laugh, man.
Yes, dude, I love them. I saw them in Switzerland.
Oh, jeez, that must have been funny.
Yes, dude, it was awesome. It was like in a 2,000-seater hall. It was fucking awesome. And it was very intimate show.
Yeah.
But the girls love them, man. I've never seen so many titties on stage that night.
Is that what you're shooting for with L.A. Cobra? More titties?
Yes, always more titties. More titties, better. But in Switzerland, what happened? I played the same venue as John Corabi, the guy who replaced Vince Neil.
Okay.
In Motley in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I messaged him and said, dude, can you please leave me a signed album at the venue with Sue, that's our booking agent. And he actually replied, and I shut my pants. And John Corabi messaged me back and said he was actually waiting for his record label to send his unplugged album. And so he actually toured without his album for the first 2 weeks of his tour.
Wow.
And I arrived and I played my show, and luckily he booked another show at Lake Geneva where Smoke on the Water was written in Switzerland. And I said to her, we must go to freaking, I'm not here every day.
Yeah.
So we must freaking do this. It's about 3 hours away from Zurich. And we went there, and I messaged him again, dude, can you please help us book tickets? We can't find anything online. And he's like, sorry, Don, it's all sold out. And I told her, no, fuck. We drove all this way for nothing. let's go just early to the venue and stand outside. And people were queuing. We were like fourth in the queue. And it's the French part of Switzerland, so I don't even understand. Well, I don't even understand German. But and then I just hear, "Hey, Don Cobra," and I look, and it's John Corabi walking up to me.
No
Like,
fucking
"Hey,
way.
dude, fucking welcome, come in." And then he organized. I don't know even how it happened, and saw
Fucking
him
hell.
up close. That was like a really special moment. It's actually funny. I met some of the I'm the one guy from Emperor, and they love South Africa. You know, like and they will always want to expand their reach. I think Africa is a very special place for those guys. All of them love lions. So once you mention lions, you're in. So I can't actually imagine that they. Once they hear you're from South Africa, of course, for them, we're so, like you said earlier, we're so freaking far from the whole world, the international
so far
market.
south, yeah. So
Okay.
2021, you know, you say you got the new album coming out March, thereabouts, 11, 12 tracks, perhaps thereabouts. Album title, do we know yet?
No, that's still undecided.
Okay, and then shows for 2021?
We are playing Misty Waters Festival in March. That's the only big show in South Africa booked. And then our European tour that was supposed to happen this year will happen next year, July. And we're going to start off in Brussels and in Belgium, in Brie.
Nice.
And working through Europe and skip UK this time. Don't want to get locked up again.
Yeah.
And we're actually trying to add Sweden to the tour.
Nice.
We're busy trying to hook that up.
So I mean, this must be not just painstakingly having to get this all sorted. Obviously, you got people over there that are helping out and doing whatever, and kudos to them. But financially, I mean, this is a massive undertaking, no?
Definitely, yeah. It's about 100 grand if you think of the whole tour in general: food, travel, accommodation, flights, visas. That's about 25 grand per person, and that's about the basics, you know.
Wow. I mean, this is a non-breaking even.
No, definitely, it's purely for love. It's
dude,
and it's an opportunity, you know. Like, I get to see the world with my brothers. It's a 3-week vacation, you know. So I see it as that.
Wow.
One day we're going to be 60 years old or 70 years old.
Yeah, and you can't do this shit anymore. Yeah.
Like, oh, this was one of the best times, you know.
So COVID has really fucked up plenty.
Yeah, dude, it really screwed our whole plans for this year. And Europe is going under lockdown again. Well, Ireland, at least as far as I know, my cousin and them are under strict lockdown now.
I've got family in Wales, and they said they are back into lockdown again as well. So, yeah.
I just hope this stops, you know, because it's really going to push up flight prices. So that's my biggest fear for next year, you know. Flight.
Have you booked your flights already, or is it just you have to wait?
We have to wait it out. We was actually going to book. We opened for. We played Ramfest this year with the Black Dahlia murder, and I think Van Gogh Cartel did a reunion, and we was that was the last big festival in the country, and then the lockdown was announced the weekend after that.
No.
And we were supposed to buy flights in April, 1st of April, and we said we were going to wait a week or two. And then luckily the tour manager from Belgium messaged us and says, dude, sorry, but all of their venues are closed. Everything, they're only basically allowed to do shopping. And that's when we made the call to cancel the tour for this year.
And I guess lots of places have also closed down over there?
Lots of places, lots of freaking bands that are doing this full time are unfortunately have to go find day jobs and stuff just to survive.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, man.
It's fucking nuts.
It's the first time the whole world is affected by one thing, like all over.
Yeah. Don't eat bats, people.
Yeah, don't be Aussie.
Unless you're Aussie.
Dude, and I feel so sorry. I've got friends in Brazil as well, in Rio, and their lockdown is so strict, and we're lucky here in South Africa. I've got a yard to sit in, my dogs are running.
Yeah.
Those guys are living in skyscrapers and they can't
move a fucking muscle,
yeah. Only go to the shop and back. And that's fucking the sad reality of it.
Well, shout out to the family down in Brazil, man. Fucking hell, hang in there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So Don, I want to find out now the most funniest fucking story on tour or with the band at any point.
There's so many. The last on the last tour was I'll fucking crack myself. That morning just before we got detained at the border, we were staying in Rotterdam at a hotel, and that tour manager, as I said to you, he's a fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
He didn't want to like always stop for food and stuff, you know, like always in a rush because fucking I don't even know. So our drummer that morning had breakfast, had like a buffet breakfast, and he took food and helped himself. And what happened then? Oh, when they detained us and they took all our phones and cigarettes and everything, they put all of his stuff, our stuff in little Ziploc bags. And then eventually we made friends with a border police guy and took us out for a cigarette. But it took us one each, you know, like
right.
to go smoke outside. And I saw our drummer's stuff, and it's like his cigarettes, his cell phone, his little
his padkos,
his wallet, yeah, and then fucking boiled eggs, man. Fucking 3 boiled eggs in there. He's like, I'm gonna eat that. I was gonna eat that on the ferry. Now they took my eggs. That was quite hilarious.
Oh no, man! Oh, that's terrible. Shame, poor guy, missing out on his fucking eggs and his smelly farts later.
Yeah, dude, and I'm actually glad he didn't eat that before, because we were like in a 3 meter by 3 meter room. So yeah.
Okay, so let's have your rig rundown, man. What is your rig and guitar that you're playing on your setup?
I'm playing a Gibson Les Paul studio.
Real rock and roll lifestyle. Wow.
I used to play Strats for 14 years, but I moved on to Gibson. I still love my Strats, but I think the Les Paul suits our genre better. I custom it a bit. People hate me. I put in EMGs in my main Gibson.
Right.
And then I've got the other studio with Burst Bucker Pros in, which is also lacquer. So I play between. I use a Marshall DSL 100H amp and the JCM 900 and a Marshall 69 cab with just your normal delay Boss DD7 and a tuner and an equalizer. And for tour, I'm using a Line 6 Helix Stomp, more compact one. And on my last tour, I actually used the Mesa Boogie Mini Rectifier, 25 watts Mesa Boogie head. That's my choice to travel with. But I'm a Marshall guy actually, so I love that roll tone.
Any endorsements?
We have a deal with Marshall Music, 50% discount on strings and sticks.
Nice. That's always helpful.
Nothing yet from big brands. Yeah, that's very helpful. Thank you, Marshall.
Thank you, Marshall.
But obviously, a cymbal sponsor would be a blessing to our drummer, because cymbals are fucking expensive.
Yeah.
And to actually break them, you know, they've got a lifespan, and where amp lasts forever. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we need some endorsements for LA Cobra.
Zildjian, are you listening?
Gibson, are you listening? Yeah.
Gibson. Yeah, of course, a Gibson sponsor would be fucking a drink, I'm sure, but I can't see that happening. But maybe. Who knows?
You never know. You know, if you don't ask, you don't get, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Well, Don, I want to thank you for agreeing to do the podcast. You didn't have to. It was very nice of you to do it, and I appreciate it very much.
Thanks so much for asking me. It was fun, you know, like
awesome.
I'm looking forward to maybe see you in Cape Town in December. And maybe
absolutely, man. Give us a nudge, and when the album's ready, give me a nudge, and if you want me to do a review, I can do a review, and let's chat again with you or with the band, and we'll talk about the new album and everything like that.
Excellent. I'll keep you updated on the progress, and once we're ready, I'll let you know.
And everything, people who are listening to this podcast and viewing this podcast, in the description below will be all the links to the socials. You know what to do: like, love, share, and subscribe.
Hell yeah! Thanks so much, brother. It really means a lot.
Absolute pleasure, Don. Pleasure's all mine, man. Have a good one, bro.
You too. Have an awesome weekend.
Alrighty, man. Cheers.
Lots of love, bro. Cheers.
Cheers, dude.